Well, before TMAP, I was a single mum living on a pension, living week by week. That was pretty much what I thought my life would be. So to me, being a single mum renting was all I knew about. And that's what I thought my faith would be.
Hello, I'm Christine. I'm 42. I work in disability support and I've joined TMAP in 2022.
When you first joined TMAP, what was the goal?
All the education and the knowledge. I really appreciate it because you really start basic from people that does not have a clue where to start, and giving them the knowledge that it is possible and there is a way.
Yeah, so it came with the intention of finding agents or property experts who knew what they were doing, especially with the first home buyers grant, to help Christine get that. And so we could do it right, like as someone mentioned, if you want to go to a mechanic, rather than you tinkering and getting it wrong, just go to the experts. And that was the first intention. And as I mentioned to Massey before, I came here for the program, but I'm staying here for the family because I love the community, the training, the education that kept coming through. Was it once a week, fortnight or something?
Yeah, fortnight, yeah.
That was value that was bringing us, even afterwards, not just the financial aspect, but even just brought us closer together because we were attending that program. And Massey had a great way of challenging everyone in the program. Sometimes we tried to attend the meeting and sort of, let it slide that we'll be in the background and just listen, but he asks your question, ask your question. So it made you feel accountable and that you knew when you're going to the meeting you had to be present. And that's what made us participate in it. And that was value. So one of the meetings that we did was still, very valuable in ours is choose your inner circle. Do they bring value or they don't bring value? Or low value friendships or relationships, high value relationships. So we had to evaluate that. And as much as we loved many of the people, that was a wake up call to see, you are the product of the 5 or 6 people that you surround yourself. And that still rings us, and we now apply that every time we go to those education programs. And we appreciated that, and we added that to our family circle.
Yeah, the meeting are also fun. You always have a laugh, and it's very relaxed.
Yeah.
For me, it was the fear of the unknown, the fear outside of your comfort, because you don't know what's behind that wall, and because it's not what you're used to. But trust the process. Massey and the team are behind you 110%. You just got to be, again, honest. And I tried to hide my afterpay, but that didn't work. So just be honest and trust the process.
Yeah, what about strategies? In terms of strategies, what have you guys actually done since joining TMAP?
Yeah, so the initial strategy was the low money down. For Christine, there was a grant, 2% deposit for single mums. And that was what intentional it was. She's, after cutting the services that we didn't need, she saved $10,000 and was ready for it, $15,000 actually, and she was ready to go ahead with that. But realising further that there was quite a few more limitations to that grant, trying to buy something in Sydney and the grant only allowed $700,000. It was not realistic to, get a house that we needed for the family. So as I mentioned, living the comfort game, it's opened up my eyes coming to these events and the training that there's the wealth game. I had insurances, and that was the backup plan. I had savings, but it wasn't the estate that I really need to do for the children in our life, and that's given the wake-up call of the strategy of getting set up for the wealth game, and that's the goal. Multiple income streams, passive and active, and having an estate for handover to the children we have.
And I'm very proud of myself to get to where I am today because of the knowledge from TMAP the impossible is possible.
We settled for a property for Christine. That was her first thing, a home buyers grant, and she's very excited, and we settled that. I couldn't be involved in that much because it would affect hers because I owed property before. Hi, my name's Ivan Vujca. I'm joined in 2022, and current properties, I had an investment property in Brisbane, but joined in to look at other opportunities with TMAP with the low money down deals. The main inspiration was to get back into the property market because I had to give up my properties in a divorce to keep my company. So then it was starting again, and TMAP is a great opportunity that I saw would be a good platform with the low money down and options. The journey from the beginning was great because the TMAP has taken us from analysing where we are and brought our finances to a healthy stage by looking at where our spending is. Money was coming in, but we were a bit reckless of what was coming out. And at one stage I was grilled by me not realising, but in them pointing out that I had 7 subscriptions, and Netflix, Disney, Spotify, and they're saying, do you really need all those? And I'm going, no. And even though they were small, it was the small things that they pointed out that really cleaned up and made a healthy financial situation, which put us in a good position to buy the next property. Well, I ran a business in IT and doing the IT training with Microsoft, and I have contract with them. And that gave me the opportunity with that income to invest in shares as well. Distributed, diversified, and doing covered calls. So that worked out well. Overall, probably in general, even if you look it up, shares does in general outperform a property, but the important thing is the diversification and just diversifying there, because you'll have booms in property, downs in shares, and that way it keeps your overall portfolio balanced. Volatile, then you have the safer blue chip ones that just poddle along. But there's some unique strategies that you could invest where it doesn't matter whether the market goes up and goes down, you could still invest, and they're called covered calls. So in the end, you just get a return regardless of how the market performs. Well, that was the key thing for Christine. We settled for a property for Christine. That was her first thing, a home buyers grant, and she's very excited, and we settled that. I couldn't be involved in that much because it would affect hers because I owed property before. But now that that's settled, we're looking and excited about this conference to see what deals they have to do something together. It's to have passive income, yeah, and be able to do opportunities, because at the moment it's time poor. Having to travel for work, and as though revenue can be good, it's time with family that I want to enjoy.